start with our apparel session, let me remind the participants to mute your microphone to prevent any disturbances throughout the session. You may leave your camera on, and I highly encourage participants to relay your concerns and questions for the panelists in the chat box for the question and answer session at the end of the session. First of all, before we proceed, let me briefly introduce you to the panelists for today. Dato Azmi. Dato Azmi Muhammad Ali is a senior partner of Azmi and Associates, one of the top 10 largest law firms in Malaysia. He also sits on the board of various public listed and private companies. He has vast skills and experience in the areas of mergers and acquisition, as well as cross-border transactions, having represented multinational companies in cross-border transactions. He's also well recognized by international publications such as Asia Law, Asian Legal Business, and Legal 500 as a reputed corporate lawyer, and was recently included in the 2020 Hall of Fame list of the Legal 500 Asia Pacific Malaysia for corporate and M&A practice. How are you today, Dato Azmi?
I'm good. Thank you for having me for this session. Good afternoon, everyone.
Glad to hear so, Dato Azmi. So,
thank you.
For today's session, Dato Azmi will enlighten us how to harness our skills to be a more all-rounder law graduates, as well as to talk about other important skills that can be considered marketable in this field. Thus, let us not wait anymore and hear from Dato Azmi directly about this topic. Dato Azmi, so I will share the slides.
Thank you, Donovan. Okay, welcome everyone to this session. I think it gives me great pleasure to be spending some time this afternoon with all of you. How many participants do we have here? Okay, it doesn't matter, 20 participants. Now, basically, harnessing the future law graduates for better upscaling, basically. I know that all of you are still in law school. It's very good of you to be participating in today's session. Fair enough, it may be still another 2 years or 3 years before you complete your study. It does not matter. I think the earlier you get exposed to the real life of practice, I suppose you become more knowledgeable and you have got a better understanding and appreciation of the kind of things and challenge that you will face in legal sector. Can you move to the next slide? Now, let me just introduce myself. I studied law at ALSA Malaysia, 1980. I went to law school 1980. Now, I was Petronas scholar. I never had any intention of becoming a practitioner because I had to serve Petronas. I joined Petronas in 1984. There was a bond of 10 years for me to serve Petronas. After having served for 6 years, suddenly I stumbled upon a chance to go into practice by being introduced by my former boss in Petronas to someone who was doing corporate work, Dato Citaru Magnana. He was the person who was doing a lot of corporate work for Proton, Highcom, and Neon. So for some reason, I got attracted to him. I got attracted to his practice. Strangely, I decided to leave Petronas and join his small firm. That was the beginning of my journey to become a corporate lawyer. I've got no clue how to become a successful corporate law practitioner in private practice. But what I was quite sure to myself was that I was saying to myself that I've got to make it, I got to put in all the efforts and learn new skills and then swim in the deep ocean of practice and make sure that one fine day I will survive and perhaps make it, as a corporate law practitioner in Malaysia. That was my journey. That was 1990. I started my pupillage on the 2nd of October 1990. So from that date until now, I have been literally in practice for 30 years. So I'm not young anymore. I've crossed my 60th birthday. Now, just a little bit about myself. Principally, I'm the main partner of Azmi and Associates. We have grown to almost 90 lawyers, 88 lawyers now. We also have got a foreign lawyer from France practicing with us. aside from law firm. So law firm is my law practice, law firm, managing work. For my firm is my main occupation. You know, day in, day out, from morning until evening, I'll spend a lot of time in my office. Even if I'm at home, I'll be doing legal work. You know, aside from that, okay, this is another aspect. You know, I mean, at this juncture, it may not occur to you, but as lawyers, as corporate lawyers, as you build your career, you build name, you build your reputation in the market. Eventually, a lot of companies will be coming to you to consider you to appoint you on their board. I see on the board of SPSTIA, largest property development company. I see on the board of Sapura Energy. Top 10. We call it integrated oil and gas service contractor. You know, I see in ALSA Malaysia's appeals committee. There is appeals committee of Bursa. I sit on the board of Worldwide Holdings Berhad, Selangor Government State Investment Arm. Now, Terralex is the next one. Okay, this is very important. Terralex is a legal network. You know, and as lawyers later on, if you need to build a career, successful career in legal practice, it is important to have global connectivity, global connection. Terralex is a law firm club. The HQ is in US, in Miami. Now, this is the second largest network in the world. The largest network is what we call it, Lex Monday. Lex Monday, the law firm in Lex Monday is Screen and Company, Screen and Co. Now, Lex Monday is considered to be the biggest global law firm network. Terralex is the second largest law firm network. Now, Terralex has got 19,000 lawyers in the group. So, in other words, Azmi and Associates, my firm, has connection with 19,000 lawyers worldwide. Whether you have got a transaction in New York, in Boston, in Pennsylvania, in Chicago, in Los Angeles, San Francisco, in San Diego, for example, you name it, basically, Texas, Houston, for example, Terralex law firms have got presence in all the cities, in Tokyo, in China, in Beijing, in Shanghai, you name any major city in the world, Terralex has presence. In Kazakhstan, in Stalingrad or in Moscow. Now, so that's the beauty of Terralex. How long ago did Azmi and Associates became a member of Terralex? In 2001. In 2001, we had already planted the seed of us wanting to embrace a big practice concept and wanting to be part of a global legal network. Hence, we applied and became a member of Terralex. At the time when we first joined Terralex, our law firm was only a law firm of 11 lawyers. 11 lawyers. Since then we have grown almost 8 times in the course of 20 years. Okay, and then these are some other companies. I used to be on the board of Sandabi Berhad as well before the company was demerged. Now, Duo Pharma is a listed company. CCM is a listed company. Duo Pharma, for example, is the largest pharmaceutical company in Malaysia, basically. And I served on the board of this company not that long, almost 3 years. Basically, I had to step down because there was a demerger between two of them. Okay, can we move to the next one? Next slide, please. Okay, building corporate law practice. Building corporate law practice. Can we go to next one? Next slide, please. Okay. Just Okay, corporate legal practice. This is basically the essence of corporate legal practice. If you aspire to become a corporate legal practice, corporate law practice tend to be big. Now, corporate lawyering, is evolving. When we talk about skill, we are talking about skills that we need to build ourselves for the future. For the future of our career and the future of the firm that we will be attached to. Now, corporate lawyering is evolving, is a solution-driven, and has nexus with economic prosperity. Okay, what's the point here? China 30 years ago was not a very prosperous nation. There was no legal firm in China. There were no big legal firms in China. But nowadays, China, economic prosperity has been such that it has progressed so well. he has progressed so well that basically so many big law firms are there in China nowadays. Basically, in Malaysia, for example, Zaid Ibrahim became so big by virtue of the collaboration with, collaboration with the government of Malaysia vis-a-vis. Just hold on. You can see the number of lawyers in China now. Basically. So Zaid Ibrahim, as I mentioned to you, built the size of their practice, having direct correlation with the prosperity of the nation when the nation of Malaysia embraced the concept of privatization to allow private companies to be an important economic player in the corporate sector of Malaysia. So what are the areas of corporate practice? I think these are not the typical normal practice. A typical normal practice, they may be doing some of this work, but I think for those of you who aspire to be a corporate lawyer working for big law firms, these are some of the skills some of the knowledge and skills that you need to acquire. It does not matter at this juncture. Don't consider it to be a very difficult task for you. When I started my career 30 years ago, I did not know all this subject. Along the way, I built my knowledge base. I continued the learning process. Similarly, you can also prepare yourself eventually to prepare your knowledge to be in this practice. Corporate and commercial advisory, buying and selling of companies, buying and selling of assets and businesses, due diligence for acquisitions and capital market, strategic alliance, collaborations and joint venture, shareholders agreement, business expansion. You're talking about business expansion, acquisition, mergers. When I left Petronas did not have a single activity outside of Malaysia. Petronas was about to embark upon its very first acquisition, that was to acquire oil and gas interests in Vietnam. Nowadays, Petronas has got presence in so many countries. Petronas is the largest company from Malaysia, at this juncture. Now, we talk about some other big Malaysian companies, Maybank, for example. Maybank is the largest bank in Malaysia. The largest company on the stock market, Maybank has got overseas operation. So we talk about how would lawyers assist businesses to conduct, how would lawyers assist companies to expand their business, to acquire further assets, to acquire further companies, or to merge their company with other companies, for example. There are a lot of exercise. Now, one of the largest company now on the stock market of Malaysia is Top Glove. Top Glove is the second largest company now on the Bursa Malaysia. It is even larger than Tenaga in terms of market cap. It is larger than Tenaga in terms of market capitalization. It is also larger than Public Bank in terms of market cap. It is ranked only as number 2 behind Maybank. Now, Top Glove has got so many factories, in Malaysia as well as in the region, and they produce so many millions of gloves every day. Now, the company's valuation is almost 60 billion ringgit nowadays. How one can never imagine that a company as Top Glove, eventually becoming so big. Now, the founder of Top Glove, a couple of years back, said to the market that he intended Top Glove to be a company that will appear in Fortune 500 companies. Fortune 500 companies is a listing of top 500 companies in the world. From Malaysia, there's only one company that is listed in Fortune 500, that is Petronas. But Petronas, of course, is a very big company. Even Maybank is not a Fortune 500 company. So I think here we are talking about lawyers' role assisting businesses in their expansion, acquisition, and mergers. Now we've got about corporate finance. Corporate finance, IPO, company raising finance on the stock market, or company raising finance through the debt instrument, through sukuk, through medium-term notes, through bonds, through Islamic certificates. Now, venture capital and private equity, like for example, Grab. Grab is a Malaysian company, started in Malaysia. They moved the operations to Singapore, but Grab is an example of a successful startup, raise capital from the market, from the equity investor, from the venture capitalist or private equity investor, and then eventually they raise money further. They went to the stock market, to Singapore, raised further capital. Eventually they bought Uber in Malaysia. Grab is an example of a successful Malaysian-owned, private venture. Startup basically. So lawyers also do this kind of work: divestment and demergers, bond, don't stock, commercial papers. These are the kind of work that will be awaiting. Lawyers. Young law students who intend to go into this kind of high-end work in future. These are the kind of work that we at Azmi and Associates typically conduct. On daily basis. In essence, corporate lawyering represents tremendous and endless opportunities for those who are prepared to persevere and learn new things and set high goals. What are the keywords here? You need to continuously learn. When I started my journey, all these subjects are alien to me, but I keep on pushing myself. I must learn all these subjects, no matter how difficult it may be. I must continue to learn so that I can become a very competitive lawyer, and my firm can also become a very competitive law firm to compete with much bigger setups in Malaysia. Okay, we must consider every challenge as an opportunity for us to progress. Can we move to the next slide, please? Okay, this is an example of, some of the big law practice, Northern Rose Fulbright, basically. Very old firm in London. They were not doing so well. They were doing some general practice work, 92, 96. They engaged themselves with a management consulting. They said, what kind of work we must focus on? The firm decided to focus, after consultation with Bain, for them to move into international high-end work. International high-end work, that's the key word. Something that can bring a good fee, something very interesting. Not many people do it. So that was the decision that Northern Rose took after they consulted with Bain & Company. Bain & Company is a management consulting firm. Okay, they went through, next slide, they went through various exercises. Now they have become something like a big and a global law firm also, basically, as a result of the stand taken by them way back in 1996 for them to move into international and high-end work. Okay, next one. I won't touch too much of this, but look at the third item there. The firm revenue increased dramatically by 27% to reach a new high of 297 million pounds. 297 million pounds times 5 would be 1.5 billion. 1.5 billion ringgit revenue. That was revenue that the firm was earning in 2008. 1.5 billion ringgit revenue, I think, would be bigger than some of the revenues of the state governments in our nation, in Malaysia, for example. I came from Kelantan. My hometown is Kelantan. I don't think the annual revenue of the state government of Kelantan is more than 1.5 billion. So that is the massive sort of revenue base, of Northern Rose. Okay, 2009 they had 264 partners and became a top 10 in UK law firm in UK in terms of revenue. Then they moved to further collaborate to Australia, amongst others, with the partnership with Deacons. Next one. Okay, and then these are some of the histories of Northern Rose. I think the secretariat, you can share the material with the participants later on. I don't intend to go through this right up in detail. Move to the next page, please. Okay, this is the case of Zaid Ibrahim. Zaid Ibrahim is still the largest law firm in Malaysia. To be honest, it is a visionary law firm, basically. By any standard, Zico is the largest Malaysian law firm. I respect them with the strength of their vision, of their strategy. They have got 6 offices in Malaysia: Kelantan, Penang, Johor, Labuan, and Sarawak. Basically, compared to us, we only have 2 offices, KL and Johor. We intend to have an office in Penang. That may be another one year time frame, basically. Very impressive track record. They have got their own network. Zico is the only Malaysian law firm that has got presence in Australia, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Thailand, Malaysia, Myanmar, and Vietnam. Indeed, they are so visionary that the kind of plan they have for themselves is not possessed by some of the big law firms in Malaysia. You know, I mean, I wouldn't want to mention the name. Why didn't the other big law firm in Malaysia think of the same strategy to build themselves to the level where they can have presence, for example, in some of the countries in Southeast Asia? Now, Azmi and associate had a study session with our young lawyers. When was that? In February, March this year, before the MCO. And some of the things that was said by our young lawyers was to me was that, why not we build a law firm of something like 220 lawyers? They have got presence in 5 cities, you know, in Southeast Asia. It was a very big grand plan conceived or conceptualized by some of my young lawyers. I said, it is a very difficult task, but I cherish the fact that you even dare to dream for the firm of having 250 lawyers and having presence in 5 major cities in Southeast Asia. At least they dare to dream, basically, you know. Okay. Next one. Okay, now this is about my personal experience. As I mentioned, when I started my journey, I do not know how to go about, marketing myself. What kind of skill do I need to have? What kind of strategy do I need to apply? How do I go about marketing the firm? How do I market the firm? How do I secure clients? How do I secure mandates? How do I structure my fees so that I will end up securing the mandate and not losing out in competition? So that was so I think I learned a lot of things. I learned about marketing. I read about marketing. I read about strategy. I understand about finance. You know, I built network of friends and fellow professionals. You talk to accountants. You talk to business valuers. You talk to investment bankers. You build network with them. Then you chart your growth. You chart your growth strategy. Basically, we started. On September 2000. In other words, the firm did not exist on 31st August 2000. The firm existed only from 1st September. The firm exists only from 1st September 2000 with 11 lawyers. We have been in practice now for 20 years. Now our strategy is still to grow and to provide a complete range of service offering. What are new areas? What are new areas, for example? Privacy, anti-competition, protection, Bitcoin, for example, fintech, Bitcoin, internet banking. These are new areas. You know, the era of conveyancing and banking and housing loan, those kind of work remains to be performed by general practice. High-end practice, if you need to capture the future, you need to learn new concept, new laws, new development that takes place. In order to enhance our visibility regionally and globally, we became part of Terralex. 2001, 20,000 lawyers, 19,000 lawyers roughly. Maybe the number has gone up to 20,000 lawyers. Now the HQ is in Florida, Miami, Florida. We are also a member of First Law International. First Law International, the HQ is in Brussels. We became a member of this network in 2005. So in other words, we have been a member of First Law International for 15 years. Again, as I mentioned, you need to be long-term thinker. You need to be a long-term strategic thinker. We were contemplating that we need to have global network. We need to be a member of global legal network fraternity as early as 2001, as early as 2005. You know, and through this network, our firm's details are listed on the website of this network. And we have got friends, law firms who are members of Terralex and law firms who are members of First Law International. Whenever they have got transaction in Malaysia or their clients have got transaction in Malaysia, they would invariably be using us. Now, we also use social media policy and publication. For example, we have got a database of all the listed companies in Malaysia. You know, all the listed companies in Malaysia, we have got a database of their chairman, their managing director, for example, you know. So as a result, we can reach out to them. We can offer to them our expertise. We can tell them the kind of transaction that we have done, amongst others. You know, so whenever they are in need of legal services, they will always consider us sort of, because we are constantly in engagement with them as regards to the activities or the recent deals that we have done or recent updates of the law and court cases, for example. which are reported from time to time. We do case analysis and share our write-up or our analysis with the clients. Can we move to the next one? Okay, that's how that was my photo in 2000, basically. Mr. Rashid was the guy standing next to me. He retired from Shell in 1999. He started his pupillage in 2000. Now he is still with us. He has been with us for 20 years. When he started, he was let me see, he was 53 years old. He is now 73 years old. He is a consultant with us now. He is the most senior member with us. That was me standing there. Our office, at that time was in UBN Tower, the tower adjoining to Shangri-La Hotel. 2003, we were already growing big. That was the lawyers of the firm in 2003. The photo next is the photo taken in 2017. I think we have grown basically, Okay, next one. Let's move to the next. Okay, now traits to build successful corporate practice. Okay, these are the essentials. For you to build a corporate practice. So as a practitioner, later on, once you finish your study, if you want to be in practice, you may want to join any firm or eventually start your own firm. You're talking about building your practice, building your career, and building your practice, building the firm that you're attached to. So these are the kind of things that we need to have mastery of. You need to understand all these issues. What are the organizational goals, and what is the goal of your firm? For example, will your firm remain as a small firm, or you intend to be a very successful firm that has got certain financial achievement, that has got certain certain financial or some reputational achievement for the firm, basically. For us, right from day one, we have been saying to ourselves, we intend to build the firm into becoming a top 5 law firm. At 88 lawyers, we're not satisfied with our position. We still want to grow further. We still want to recruit, fresh young lawyers for our organization. We intend to build our organization to scale up our hierarchy to be a top 5 law firm. The law firm need to provide effective leadership. We need to provide effective leadership. We need to get people to have buy-in of the firm's strategy and long-term objective. We need to have business strategy. What is the strategy? How do we strategize to win mandates? How do we strategize to get blue chip, high-paying, assignments or mandates? Interesting assignments. For example, the merger currently there's a proposed merger between EcoWorld and Sunrise. That is a very interesting assignment. For big law firms, how do you strategize to make sure that you would end up doing this kind of assignment, basically? So we are always thinking, to build our position in a manner where we will be able to secure, interesting, big, high-paying legal assignment. We talk about business strategy. You need to have business strategy. Early on, I talked about Northern Rose consulting Bain, engaging Bain Consulting to change their business strategy. I.e., they need to move from a general practice into high-end national cross-border legal work that will pay a good fee, for example. Capacity building means you need to invest in your IT system, your human resource system, your technology system. Your lawyers must be talented lawyers. They must be motivated. They must be financially rewarded, for example. You need to build a law firm that has got capacity to compete at the high end, basically. Recruiting, managing talents, adequate service offering. Now, value-added services means the clients are very demanding. They need from you not only legal advice, but they need something else, legal advice plus something else. They may say to you, hey, could you recommend to us financial valuers, for example, a good financial valuers? No, that is not a legal service, but they would require you to do it. What does it mean here? You are value adding your services to the client. The client is getting something else over and above the legal service that you are delivering. Then you have got prompt, timely, and quality service. The service must be quick, timely, and high quality. How do you go about doing this? It means your system must be able to work I mean, almost non-stop, basically, non-stop. Client-driven, winning client confidence, sustainable cash flow, building cohesive, progressive culture, building accountability, embracing diversity, basically. I mean, a law firm with diversity will be able to perform better. Now, you have to embrace technology. Technology is important for you to execute the job. I mean, nowadays, for example, where you can have face-to-face meeting. How do you go about conducting meeting with your session with your clients? You do it by way of through Zoom, through Microsoft Teams, basically. Through all this technology, it means you can have connectivity with your client, even though you cannot meet up with them personally face-to-face. Now, how do you execute documents? How do you get documents signed? How do you get document produced? You're not able to go to office. Then the system, the technology will assist you to ensure production of documents and contracts for the clients to sign and things like that. Marketing, branding, and business development, networking. Networking is important. Networking is important. Networking is not about cronyism. Networking is about getting help from people who can assist you in your career development, in your firm's development. You need to have a lot of friends, basically, along the way, so that as and when you are stuck with something, you can always turn to someone and seek some guidance or help, basically. Regional Internet Alliance sustainability means you are building a law firm that will survive on long-term basis. It is not just a practice of 2 years or 3 years, but something that will survive for the next 50 years, for example. Screen has been in the market for 60 years. Shen Dalemo was established in 1905. He has been in the market for 115 years. Azmi and Associates has been in the market for 20 years. We need to put in place a model in which the law firm will be sustainable for the next 50 years, 100 years. So we need to put in place a lot of policy statements which are encouraging people to work on long-term sustainability basis. Corporate social responsibility is about giving back to the society, about contributing to the society, contributing to the law school, to the law students, sharing your knowledge, taking them to do internship with you, sharing your wisdom, sharing your experience amongst others to inspire the next generation of lawyers, basically. Clients are more interested to do business with law firms which embrace CSR as part of their culture. Expansion and growth. We must always think of expansion. There are 4 principles of business: growth in revenue, growth in profit, strategizing for the future, and the other one is total shareholders return. I think if I've got a session with you later on, I will explain this concept. So in other words, a successful law firm is always a law firm that has always achieved success. We have embraced this doctrine and we have had a good 14 years of growth. Every single year, our revenue has grown from the previous year, for 14 years since 2006, except for 2 years. There were 2 years in which, for some reason, our revenue for that year was lower than the revenue of the preceding year. And this year, for example, I can share with you that our revenue for this year, God willing, will be higher than the revenue of the firm last year. And this is the year of COVID. Remember, this is COVID year. A lot of business are affected. We have achieved the present size of 88 lawyers, even though we are in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. And yet we have been able to sort of expand ourselves to the present size. Can we move to the next one? I don't have much time left. I will run through the session very quickly. Next one. Now, technology. Technology. This is something that we need to understand. Technology. How would technology affect your business? People are saying that technology does not require you to have big offices anymore. You can have your lawyers to be working from home, working remotely from their places of where they are staying, and yet deliver legal work. That's the future, basically. We have after COVID, we have also downsized our office operation. Currently we are divided into 2 teams. Team A work from home, team A work from office, and we alternate. The partners, similarly, we are working from home and this thing. And because of technology, we are able to get the work performed. Next one, please. The other concept is that would law firm be still pertinent? Hotel business affected by Airbnb. Taxi business affected by Uber and Grab. The legal business in future may be affected by the platform. So this is something that you also need to consider. Would there still be big law firm in future? Would people be engaging with technological platform to get their legal documents drafted? This is a question that's been predicted by the technologies, by the law technologies, basically, like Richard Susskind. Something that you need to be aware of this, and plan for your firm. Next one. Okay, virtual office, service medium, remote working, remote desktop, for example. Our system enable everyone to work from their home. They have got laptop, they have got system, they have got technology that enable them to work from everywhere they are, basically. We need to have that. Then productivity is somewhat assured. Next one. Okay, tech tool, service packaging. You need to offer your product together with other commodities, something else that you can offer to the client. Next one. Fee model. Okay, fee model means what? Okay, fee model. We talk about fee model. Normal fee. Can we have got a fee model subscription based? I.e., people pay you fixed fee, and through that arrangement, they are entitled to certain range of services. In other words, they pay a fixed fee, and you will get that consistently rather than assignment based. Marketing, e-promotion, e-branding, networking, global networking, as I mentioned. Next one. Okay, virtual office, service medium. Can we move to the next one? Remote working, I've touched on this. Future law firm, okay, technology knowledge, basically, artificial intelligence, analytics, for example. We have got in our office someone who manage our analytics. All our data of the firm is being managed, and we make decisions based on analytics, financial analytics. Next one. Okay, tech tools, I've touched on this. Next one. Let's go to the very, okay, can we move faster? I've got, 1 minute left. Fee model, I've touched on this. Next one. Marketing, social media, digital marketing. We have embraced this concept. Next one. Okay, these are key determinants of competitive advantage would be tech skill, variety of package, service or product, variety of consultants on board, value offering, cost-effective competitiveness, fee model, convenience of client engagement process, speed of delivery. That is why in the Malaysian market, you will see that the bigger firms will get bigger. Screen is bigger now compared to 3 years ago. Anna Sundra is bigger now compared to 3 years ago. Rama and Lim is bigger compared to 3 years ago. Christopher Leong. So the top 10 law firms, they're getting bigger and bigger because what? They have got the competitive edge over the smaller competitors, basically. Next one. Okay, future law firm. Okay, this is the. There are some views about. Law firm in future may not be hiring lawyers on a full-time basis, but on part-time basis. Lawyers may not be working for the law firm on full-time basis. They may be everywhere. They may be working on project basis, on assignment basis. Some of this concept is being done now in Zico, Zaid Ibrahim. They have got people. Who are working with them on project basis. They are paid on project basis. They are not quite on the payroll of Zaid Ibrahim on permanent basis. They are paid on project basis, on assignment basis, or on man-hour basis, basically. As and when Zaid Ibrahim has got a project, they will draw resources from this panel of people who are attached to them on project basis, on part-time basis, on call basis. Next one. Okay, good. Okay, this is the ranking of the law firm. Next slide. Give me another 3-4 minutes. These are the big law firms. These are the big law firms. Like I would like to touch on number 3. Number 3 is Bette McKenzie. In Malaysia, Wong and Partners is part of this network. These are the top law firms, for example. You can just imagine the earning capacity. The earning, like Kirkland & Ellis earns 4.15 billion USD revenue. That comes to almost 18 billion ringgit. Chicago-based law firm. Let's move to the next one. Okay, this is the size of the Malaysian law firm. The size of Malaysian law firm, Zaid Ibrahim and Company, 155 lawyers. By and large, Zaid remains as number 1 law firm. Number 2 is Screen. Number 3 is Shern. Number 4 is Lee Shamuddin, Alan Glahill. They merged with Alan Glahill. That's why they have become big. They were even bigger, but for some reason, there was some departures from Lee Shamuddin early this year. They have gone down to number 4. At one stage, they were bigger than Screen. They were number 2 or number 3, but now the size has gone down to number 4. Zurafi and Partners, Anda Sundra and Lau, they merged with 1 or 2 other law firms, smaller law firms. They are at 90. At one stage, they were quite big, but they embraced the concept of expanding themselves further in order to capture high premium work. Rahmat Lim is an even newer firm established 2010. They have gone up to 88 lawyers occupying slot number 7. Chui & Co and Chiang Arif, these are two sort of two law firms. I mean, they were at 42 lawyers and 28 lawyers. They decided to merge. They decided that we need to sort of capture a bigger market. Let's merge. They merged and created a law firm of, sort of 70 lawyers. Since then, they expanded themselves into having 85 lawyers. They occupy number 8 slot. Number 9 is Christopher Leong. Christopher Lee merged with Leong Kandaya. They adopted new name, Christopher and Leong. Lee and Ong was established 1992. They merged 2003. I think the firm now has 84 lawyers. They are above us. Number 10 is our law firm, Azmi and Associates. We were established in 2000. We had 80 lawyers. That's our size. Next slide. These are the next number 11 to number 17, for example. Raja Dara, Wong Partners. Wong Partners has gone down slightly, but they're still, very good firm. I would say. Chu and Bok used to be top 3 law firm, but that's why you need to embrace technology, talent retention, talent development. You need to sort of build capacity. You need to learn technology. Otherwise you will slide to lower ranking, basically. Okay, let's go down. Let's go down some more. Next slide, please. Okay, some of the tips. These are some of the tips that you need to keep in mind. Basically, as I mentioned to ALSA, you can share my material with the participants. Set a high goal. Always on the lookout for a job. Position yourself for the future. As a lawyer, get things done. Get things done for the client. Solve the problem for the client. Seek no excuses. Have good communication skill with the client. Anticipate the future. What are the things to come in future? What are the shape of the future that will affect our industry? Always be ahead of the clients and the game. Always be ahead of the competitor. Know your adversary. Who are your competitors in that sense? Commit to long life learning. Learn endlessly. Learn new concepts. Learn new areas of law. Keep on reading. Continue to learn, basically. Continue to progress yourself through learning, through networking, through a lot of things. And the subject that you need to learn is just not to confine to law. You need to understand about eventually strategy, business expansion, valuation, technology. These are the kind of, some of the key, subjects that you need to learn basically in the course of your career. Embrace self-direction and self-motivation. Build internal resilience. Determined enough to face the challenge. Always be proactive. Remain focused to achieving your goal. Like I mentioned, when I quit Petronas, I said I need to remain focused to achieve my objective of becoming a successful corporate lawyer one day in Malaysia. I can't afford to fail. I got to make sure that one fine day I will achieve it. I will be recognized as one of the sort of respected leading corporate lawyer in Malaysia. That was what I said to myself when I left Petronas 30 years ago. Have high integrity. Don't be involved in any questionable integrity lacking deals. Along the way, people come to you with a lot of things. They want to give an assignment to you, but they want kickbacks. How do you say no to that? You just got to say no. Don't be attracted to that kind of this thing, because it's going to ruin your reputation. Be hardworking, find solution, not problem. Understand and business and commercial issues. Be collaborative in nature. I think for us to be successful, we need to collaborate. We need to collaborate means we need to collaborate with your partners, with your fellow office workers. For example, Zico has 50 lawyers. The 50 partners. The 50 partners collaborate with each other to win bigger mandates. Screen has got, more than 45 lawyers, more than 45 partners. So again, 45 partners, they are in collaborative mode among themselves to assist the firm to achieve the corporate objective of Screen and Co. We, in Azmi Associates, we have got 20 partners. Our 20 partners must be working collaboratively. So I think if you want to achieve success, you have to work collaboratively with your colleague, with your office mate, with your partner, for example. So these are some of the develop interpersonal skill, engage in networking and communication, be analytical, logical and creative, be strategic, be a team player, build trust, be accountable, be a master in business and marketing. These are some of the knowledge, some of the tips that you can use later on when you decide to to have a foray into the legal practice. Can we move to the next one? Okay, I think that's the end of the session. Thank you very much. That's my phone number. If you need to be in contact with me, feel free. I mean, I receive a lot of applications for people to be with us to do pupillage. We have roughly 15 to 18, I mean, places for pupillage, but I think, to be honest, I think most of the places are occupied. I mean, you can still apply. I mean, depending, the business is a bit slow nowadays because of COVID, but we hope we overcome the COVID challenge and grow our business again. Thank you very much, and I'll be happy to answer any questions posed.
Thank you very much.
Over to you, Donovan. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dato Azmi. The questions will be open to the floor. Is there any question? Maybe just one question from the participants. It seems.
Hi, Ms. Azmi. I'm Shi. Just now you mentioned your company did like better compared to last year despite the COVID-19. May I know like what kind of like strategies you use in order to like increase the revenue despite of like the like uncertain situation right now?
It's a very good question. Who's the person asking this question?
Shi.
Okay. Let's be practical. Let's be practical. Business has gone down. Business generally has gone down. Okay. There was a saying that for someone who is very talented, whether the market is down, the market is up, the demand for this someone will always be strong. You follow? So now the market has shrunk. The size of the transaction has gone down. What do? We believe we are a very competitive market. It means we need to work harder to go out and pitch for work. Pitch for work in a manner where even if the price is lower, through collaborative arrangement, we can do a better job, for example. So the strategy is to get more work. The strategy, because work has shrunk, you cannot be taking a normal approach of sitting down in your office or at home expecting work to come to you. For example, as I mentioned, we have got in our office 3 persons on full-time basis doing digital marketing strategy. During the first period of COVID, I mean from 18th of March until 5th of May, we produced 23 articles on COVID. Our lawyers were busy, busy writing articles on COVID. I mean, COVID and force majeure. COVID and, for example, impact to property development. What is the impact of COVID to property development? What happened to the SPA, for example? We produced those articles, and the 23 articles were then uploaded on the internet. I mean, through LinkedIn, through Instagram, not through Facebook, and through our own direct channel of communication. As a result, we have achieved greater visibility. In other words, we have achieved greater visibility through a strategic thinking process. When, embraced by the firm, when the work was slowing down, we galvanized all our lawyers to write all kind of articles, for example, the legality of conducting meeting on the internet. Can you hold general meeting of listed companies on the internet, for example? So as a result, basically, the visibility of the firm goes up, and as a result, we are able to secure more clients coming to us. Before COVID, the firm size was roughly 75, 76, thereabout, basically. We had 7-8 lawyers who completed their pupillage during the COVID period. Almost maybe 12 lawyers completed their pupillage between February to now. I think we retained maybe 7 or 8 of them, basically. There were 2 lawyers whom we recruited from a bigger firm than us. There was another person also from another law firm from us. someone who left us a couple of years back wanted to join us again. So I think so as a result, we are very much more focused now to do marketing, to approach clients, and because we have got presence in social media space, our marketing strategy works better. As a result, we have been able to secure mandates from new clients altogether. Because without clients, your revenue will go down. Now we also do one more concept known as, we call it a search engine optimization. Search engine optimization is a process in which technology we apply to your website. When people search law firm in Kuala Lumpur, for example, or law firm in Malaysia, you want your law firm's name to top up, to emerge as to pop up, to emerge as the law firm in the search engine. So that basically, every time I search, our name will just pop up as opposed to other law firms. As a result, we are able to sort of secure greater mandate. So I think this is the application of marketing, social media, marketing, strategy engagement, visibility, and also technology application to search engine. Then you have to remain focused on collection. You engage a client by saying to them what can you do to assist the client, and a client who's happy will be a client who is more prepared to pay your legal fees. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Very
much,
good
Dato
question.
Azmi. Great questions and answers from both the panelists and fellow audience. Unfortunately, those are the only time that we have today. Thank you everyone for participating. We really do appreciate your interest in this very important issue. We'll be sure to make full use of it and appreciate it so much. Hope to see you all again in the future. Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you.
So now, all of you will be assigned back to the main room.
Okay, thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Bye.